The last thing I want to talk about is what happened actually to us at the show. We're really an analog company. We don't manufacture anything that uses digital technology. We may in the future, but right now we make amplifiers and loudspeakers and don't use any digital technology. But we feed from the internet, because the sound coming from the internet now can be really, really excellent. So we don't have to bring CD players to shows, and we don't have to bring turntables and all those kinds of things. We just stream audio from the internet. Well, two things happened. We had an issue with the computer. We didn't know if it was the hotel's network or if it was our computer. And we had a couple of pretty good computer guys come in. Then the hotel sent in a guy, and then they got a third-party guy that provides their internet to work with us also. All I know is that on Thursday night, that's the setup day, I went home with no sound. I didn't know what was going to happen. One of our associates spent the entire night downloading files to his computer so we could start over again in the morning and actually play music at a show. What a concept. Unfortunately, when he got here and he plugged in his computer, it wouldn't mate with our preamplifier. In my world, a preamp's got knobs and inputs, and you turn the knob, it gets louder. But now you have to download drivers to hook something to your preamp. We don't know about these things. We were very concerned. The guys at Wolf Audio Systems heard about our problem, and they came down the hall and said, "What's going on?" We told them what was going on, and I hope you can see the piece I'm leaning against. This is a kind of a streamer server thing. Remember, I'm not good with this digital stuff. Here's what I know. Not only did it solve the problem instantaneously, and I could pick anything I want off a touchscreen, and it was so easy for me to use despite my ignorance, it was arguably the best sound we've ever had at any show. But get this, we always get the grand ballroom. 40 by 30 feet, 40 by 40. It's expansive, and we have this tremendous sound, and we're often the best sound at the show. Here we've got the worst room. It's the littlest room because it's a handicap room, so the washroom intrudes into the room by about a third of the room. We were very concerned. This thing sounds so good that everybody's telling us we've got the best sound at the show, and all of the other companies are complaining about the acoustics of their rooms. We don't have any room treatment. I'm not doing any more shows without this product. That's what I have to say. I'm Frank Malitz, CEO and owner of Bob Carver Corporation. Bob's my partner. I love him. We love this product, and we're sticking to the story.
A couple of years ago, you were doing a presentation off of a laptop, and I said, "Hey, you need a Wolf server," and of course now you have one. It has evolved considerably since then. I have the original prototype. My son built it for me, and I'm a vinyl guy, and I said, "No, I don't need it," and I didn't use it much at first. Now, and I have a very good turntable, a very good cartridge. It is so close, it's indistinguishable. You can A, B, and you can't hear a difference. And I'm on the original prototype. It's a much evolved product since then.
It's more complex than this, because sometimes you'll have look, Ricky Lee Jones had an album come out when we were using them for demo at all the hi-fi stores, and it sounded great. So my buddy heard it at my house, and he went out and bought the album, and it sounded terrible. Brand new LP, yeah, both are LPs. Right. His was from an older stamper that had worn. So he went to Mobile Fidelity and bought the Mobile Fidelity version, which, by the way, is kind of a partner of ours in the room. That's from Music Direct. They own Mobile Fidelity. Okay, right. So the Mobile Fidelity version, remember this is 1978 or something like that, was worse than my original copy. And they had supposedly the master tape. Right. All right, so what we have here is a lot of variables. Let me say this. If we can have a great LP, and if we can have a digital version and they sound about the same, that's an accomplishment. Because if we start with a bad recording, the digital won't solve that problem. And poorly done digital is dissonant to the human physiology because of the nature of the distortion. This isn't analog. In the analog world, if we have certain distortion components, there are things that can make it sound better sometimes, just artificially better. In the digital world, that can't happen. So the fact is, bits is not bits. Despite my ignorance about the technology itself, we empirically found out through using digital products that they didn't sound the same. And I thought bits is bits. How could they not sound the same? Is it the circuitry that supports them? Well, now we've come to the conclusion, some guys play basketball better than others. Some guys know more about digital than others. I cannot do a show without a product this quality because my livelihood depends on it. So I have to use a product from Wolf Systems, Audio Systems here.
This was designed to be an audiophile product. It's not a computer that was taken to start doing audio and streaming. This was designed for sound quality, for achieving the absolute sound to the extent you can. So that was the design premise.
You should be very proud of this. There was a wonderful speaker brand called Apogee, which I helped relaunch at the time. I'm sitting in my car with the head of Apogee, and he's going over all the painstaking processes to develop this loudspeaker. How much they cared about quality. The candles burning at both ends night after night. And I turned to him and I said, you know that there's 250 guys from 250 companies which sit in this car next to me and told me the same story. Everybody believes in their product. The fact is, you have talent beyond most of the other companies. You're capable, with basically the same technology on the surface, you're capable of higher performance than they are. You should be very proud.
Thank you.
It's not an easy thing to do, what you've done.
And it's sonically, you can hear the difference because I've compared, and as I say, I'm a vinyl guy, and I was skeptical, and my son proved to me what he had accomplished.